Going to do another ready go here. This one is the Kia Full 18. Meter seems to be quite choppy, but I'm going to record the full video no matter no matter how poorly we do here. So hopefully it's manageable. So here we're going to have 77 yards. I'm going to try and land this about 79. Right around 79 or so. So we'll use a 60 wedge. 79 be somewhere there. Missed it a hair late, but that should be alright. And landed at 78 and it came back to 77. When I say 79, I mean play it for 79. Land a yard long and let it come back a yard. Don't know if I should be clarifying that or not, but not the best wind here. I should still get over on this line, I think. That's no good. Slight miss on the other side would have been much better. Just an extra 5 or 6 yards being up the fairway means, you know, an eagle putt or a pitch, so should still be able to get there, though. Should be able to get on the front, I would think. Or I hope I can. Probably won't. Probably just short. I don't know. It's not going to matter over there. As long as we get over the bunker, should be alright. Not the worst spot in the world to be. It's a relatively makeable pitch from here. It is 40-50 though. And it is going uphill, so if I pitch this at 100% full backspin, I usually get about 14 yards from 40-50, so with the headwind and being uphill, I expect that to certainly come up short. Probably end up here somewhere, so I'm going to come up a little bit from full backspin, maybe around the check mark or so, and see what happens. Hopefully that gets me to here, or even back here would be alright. I just want to make sure I get this to the hole. Got no chance of eagle unless I get it there, so should be alright somewhere there, I think. Getting the ding's going to be tricky. That was still short. Had to play that with, actually ended up getting 14 yards, so with the headwind end uphill, I had to adjust a little bit more than what I did there. It's going to be tough to get the dings with the choppiness, especially on the delicate little shots, but we'll do our best. For some reason, the driver is the smoothest of all. It usually is like that. I don't know why, but it's usually the smoothest club for some reason. So here we're going to have 71. It's going to be uphill. And I think this plays the 2. Normally I'd play this 72, but I'm going to play it 73, plus the headwind is 70. I'm going to land this about 75, I think, would be good. And so it should land about a yard long and hopefully spin back a little bit. So 75. Should be about 93, 94%, somewhere in there. Hopefully that turns. The line looks good. Oh, landed almost 3 yards long. Wow. Okay, so that went to full. It was almost like it wasn't playing up anything. I'd struggle to get that to go that far at that percentage, I think, most of the time, so I don't know what happened there. Not like a bad putt, though. Definitely the easier of the two pins in terms of putts. Could be just a left pin that plays up too, but I know in the past I've played it up one and been a yard short of where I want it to be, so not sure. Could be just kind of a funny hole. Missed that a little early. Should be all right though. 176. Might be just a hair on the awkward side. I hit 6 iron, I believe. Just gonna come down to about level with the check mark or so. It's going way right. Didn't think that was a real bad miss, but I might have played too much. Well, I guess it wasn't terrible. Might have played a little too much wind as well. Right of this hole, there's definitely some strange putts. This one, there's a couple that just nosedive hard to the left for some reason here. So this, I don't know if this is that putt or not, but I know I've missed them from 4 feet where they just, it's almost like you have the club face closed and just pull it hard left. It just turns instantly. It just starts out like, it doesn't even start out at the hole. It starts out, you hit it, and from this point onward, it's like over here instantly. So hopefully this isn't one of those, because they certainly do exist on this side of the hole. Those last 2 dots are moving quite quickly, so what I would do is I would adjust for those first, and then look at so I'll break this down into sections. I'm looking at the first 2 dots here. Got an idea of where I would go for those if it was just a 2-dot putt. Now I'm looking at the first 2. So for the last 2 I would go about here, and then the first 2 I would go about there. So that would be my initial instinct on this putt, would be somewhere there. That's how I like to play those that have kind of 2 different dot speeds in the same putt. Ooh, this is tricky. 218, 217. Hit full backspin 4 iron, obviously. I think I'm going to hit this at about 98.5%, 98. It was quite of a bad miss. That's going to be well right, I think. Yeah, didn't get any in the tailwind. It just didn't check. The line wasn't terrible. Just where I landed on that downslope over here with the tailwind, just wasn't enough spin. So distance was good, I think. If I'd have landed in a better spot, it might have actually worked out. So this putt, it's just a hard putt. There's really no other way of describing it. Looks good to me. Didn't hit it quite as hard as I thought I did, but regardless, it's not a very friendly putt at all. I don't like that wind. I really don't like this hole in a tailwind. I kind of struggle on that hole in a neutral wind, let alone, but tailwind's my least favorite. I'd certainly rather have a headwind there. This hole, I think anywhere like right of the hole is pretty easy putt. Anywhere inside 3 yards short, I think is easy as well. So, we got 140. 140 with a slight tailwind. I'm going to come down on the spin just a hair. Just like there somewhere. That's not going to be good. Distance was good, but line was quite far off. Not sure what this putt's like. I haven't been over. Yeah, probably missable, but not too bad. Just got those 2 dots in the middle. Have a good look at this. Don't think it's going to do a whole lot. I think that should be good there. And why I say that's missable is because at Kia, putts aren't always what they seem. Like, that looks pretty simple, but it could do something totally different as to what you think it's going to do, so. Or totally different than it looks. So anywhere else, or most other places, that would just be you wouldn't stress over that at all. You just hit it and make it and move on. But I like to give them a little extra attention at Kia. Been fooled a lot of times, so I'm gonna hit 3-iron here. Should be good, I think, if it turns. Ah, okay. Didn't get nearly the distance I thought I would to tailwind. So this hole does that, though. It's kind of a funny hole sometimes. So 23 yards. I'm just going to try and miss this a hair late. Might have been too late. Yeah, it was a little. Oh boy, that's a not a great spot to leave yourself either. It's a little bit further to the right, and this is about a 4.5, 5-footer here, and you've got a very, very missable putt. This one looks pretty easy though. So here, should be very close to just a full backspin 5-iron, I believe, with the wind help I'm going to get. I'm going to go with that. Hopefully that's not too far left. If it is, if it's left and short, it's going to be a nightmare. Oh, wow, 194. That's pretty shocking. That's not good either. Definitely don't want to be there. The line I don't think was the issue. I think it was the distance. I think if I'd have landed up in here more, it would have just funneled right down. Even here somewhere, would have just funneled down to the back there. But got fooled on the distance there a bit. That's two that have gone a little bit weird, distance-wise. Another tricky putt. So this one I do it the same way. We've got the first two dots are uniform, and the last three are, I guess the first three are kind of uniform. The last one is racing perhaps a little bit faster. So I'm looking at the last three first and deciding where I would go for those, which would be there. And then I look at the first two now and see how much I would adjust for those. So there's the first three, and there's the first two. So that would be my initial starting point for this putt would be there. And I would just adjust it as I see necessary. Might even miss this a hair early. So we got away with it, but it's not a place you want to leave yourself if you can help it. That's for sure. So here we're going to have a bit 173. So put the aimer a bit there. I'm going to hit this full back spin at just over 98%. Hopefully if we got the wind aim right, that is half decent. Ooh, well short. Okay. A little bit of funny stuff happening on the... I just checked, I'm on game server 5, so that I didn't even notice, so that could be the reason. I think I'm going to hit this putt and then I think I'm going to clear everything, change game servers, and then see if we get the same thing to happen on the back nine. Because I've had a couple that gone a little bit weird, so that could be why. I didn't even notice, I just hit tee off without checking, so that was my fault. So this one's pretty uniform as well. Tricky little... It's very makeable, but also it's not a tap in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to pause and go ahead and clear that. Alright, so we're on a better game server now. We'll see if that makes any difference. It should. Uh-oh. It might be, yeah, it looks like it's alright. Somewhere around 130, 131, I would guess. So... a little bit early. Hopefully it stays somewhat online. Well short again. Okay. This putt I've had this putt quite a lot, so it's definitely going to do what it shows. It's not going to do anything funny, I don't think. But just want to make sure I don't miss this low, because it might, or high, I guess. Back pin here. Shanking the driver pretty good. Not going to be able to do that on the next few holes, that's for sure. Not going to get away with big misses on 12, 13, 14, 15, basically the rest. Going to have to be dinging to get close, so. Like that, just about perfect, I thought. Oh, it was a good line. I just needed a pixel more power. It would have been nice. Alright, so this hole, I think this one is basically anywhere is fine. Even long is not the end of the world. But the next one, 13 long, is definitely going to cause some issues, so see what we end up with here. Probably going to end up with 75, 74. I'm going to hit this 6-iron, I think. I think I'm just going to come up and full backspin a little bit and see what happens. Hopefully that is in the neighborhood. The line's good. It's better. So this one we really don't want to go long if it's the front pin, I'm pretty sure. Looks like it might be the middle pin or the back one here. I think anywhere right of this hole's good as well, I believe. Short, anywhere short right or anywhere short right, I'm pretty sure is decent. So anywhere in this area is a bit where we want to be. So we'll go a bit there. 147, 8-iron. Should be a good miss since I want to be a little bit right. There, that's exactly where we wanted to be. Yard short and yard right. It's a shame plans can't come together like that all the time. So 14, gonna be the back pin, and we got a headwind. So this is, boy, this is interesting. Very close to a flat 3-iron, I believe. It's playing a bit 229 plus the wind, so I think I'm going to come down from full backspin just a hair, or down from neutral just a hair, and hopefully get the ding, and hopefully it's not way short. We missed the ding a bit. I might stay online half decent, can't really tell. I think I should have just hit it completely neutral, although the distance wasn't terrible, 2 yards, but the line was off by 2 yards as well. So this is kind of the critical hole. This is a bit the hardest hole left for me usually. Well, this one in 17 would be the hardest too. If I'm going to make par, as I would expect, most likely going to be 14 or 17 or both. So we'll see if we can get this putt. So down 3. We really only got 4 dots of significant movement. The first 2 are really kind of now they're moving more. So my first instinct would be there. There. 9. So I'm gonna hit this for about 8-ish. Somewhere there should be good. Missed that way high. It wasn't even in the general area of the hole. The first 2 dots they started moving faster. The second time I looked, and I read a little too much into that. If I'd have just stayed with my first assumption and just played the 4 dots, I definitely would have come closer than that. But I thought the first 2 dots was going to turn it more than it actually did. So that was a pretty easy putt. I wouldn't blame, like, the tee shot wasn't great, but I wouldn't blame it solely on that. I would say that was a very poor attempt at a 12-footer there. Got to be able to make those to score. Or I do, because I can't ding anywhere near 100%, so I'm going to have those putts quite often. Just got to be able to make them. Hopefully that works out nicely. That'll be alright. Weird angle, but fortunately it's pretty short, so (17 and 18). Definitely room for some pars yet. Shouldn't par this one though, but I have before, so definitely have. I've spoiled many around on this hole. I shouldn't say many, but it certainly has happened. Usually it's a 3-wood that I miss by a mile and end up like over here in the sand or in the rough, and I mess up the wedge or something. That's usually what ends up happening when I do screw it up. I might have missed that too much again. A little bit long too. Just trying to miss it, maybe like touching ding line late or so. That's what I was going for there. I got the 245 pin. Okay, well this makes things a bit makes things a bit more interesting. Got a slight tailwind. It really depends on. I think I'm going to try this and see what happens. It's not going to be good, I don't think. Had to play more backspin, but I think I might have landed on a. I don't know. That took quite a big kick when it landed. So I haven't played that shot with a 3-iron a lot of times, so I'm not really sure exactly what I should be doing. So I think a ding was in, or even maybe even a slight early click would have worked, but well, I called the two pars. I said 17 and 14. Usually 17 back pin is the one that gets me more so than 14. 14 either pin I birdie most of the time, but too many mistakes. That tee shot there was borderline experimental though, so I'd say the yardages have been better overall since I switched everything. So yeah, hair early. Line looks good. Just a little bit long. A little bit paranoid since I was using the 90 ball of coming up short. So I've noticed I've been going long. It's been happening for about probably, I would say, a week and a half now. So just got to learn to trust. I add an extra percent of power here and there, just really for no reason. Just in fear of, just in fear of being short. So this is a weird little putt. It's not over. It's not a tap in. We got it. So what is that? A 57? Could have been easily could have been a 55 or even a 54. We just screwed up a couple of. Missed a putt here on the front. Yeah, on the front, I screwed up the all par threes. Par three of the par threes. So, see what the stats look like real quick. So 5.7 average distance. Should do better than that, I think, score-wise. But I guess we got to take it. So that's it for this one.